Hi everyone, third time I try to do this video, so sorry in advance. I am not in my best heels at the moment, but I really wanted to do this video, and maybe I will be rambly and lost, but I will try to focus. Today the subject is about messages from the other underworld, every heavens, everywhere you think that the dead go. And Ruth from Rainfire Dreaming channel asked me a really good question. She asked me, when people die, do they come more to people that can be sensitive to them and hear, feel, see them, or do they come equally to people, to their loved ones? I can only speak to my perception, experience of it. Most of the time when people die, if they die knowing that they will die, when they have time to process it, when they have more accidents, things like that, it's more difficult for their spirit to understand that, so they need time. But most of the time, really, in the hours or days after their death, dead spirits, dead souls, have a clear conscience of their life, at least the first wide looking of it, and so towards their loved ones, most of the time they become conscious of what they have said, what they have done that can have been wrong, and most of the time what they have not done, or what they have not said that could have changed their relation to their loved ones, or that could have changed their life. So they have messages to say, urgent messages, and they come to these people even if they cannot hear or see them or feel them, and they try to make this pass. It can be dreams, it can be like for my father that is not so perceptive and he really needs tangible things. In the night when my grandfather died, my mother woke up my dad really at the moment when my father died, because she was hearing knocking at the door of the house and at their window, and there are nothing that can knock on it, no trees, nothing like that, really. And so my father woke up and really heard that, and the day after they were having the news that my grandfather had died at this precise moment. And this weekend my father has been to a sweat lodge with an Algonquin medicine man with which he works. Every year he comes to do a sweat lodge. They have done special ritual for my grandfather to go directly to his creator. And during the night, exactly at the same hour that there were the knocks at the window at their home, he woke up hearing a huge beast running, and suddenly he was in his bus sleeping in it, and suddenly the bus is pushed, and he feels a scraping noise of a horn that is ripping the the paint of the bus, and then nothing. Really, he has heard, he was really scared like hell, alone in the woods in his bus, and hearing that, and he had not heard the beast coming out. Really no noise, anything after that. So he told us that when he came back, and I was, whoa, there is great chances that it was our grandfather. I really realized that when people said to him, yeah, it could have been a stag, a deer, a stag with a horn coming there and pushing your car with his horn. And there were no scraps on it, really. He has heard that, feel that, all have felt real, but there were no footprints, no scrap, and he has really not heard the beast coming out of there. So yeah, really when he said to me, oh, it could have been a stag, I said, oh my god, it must be grandfather. And he said, oh yeah, all hell. I said, yeah, we already had the knock. And he said, yeah, it was exactly at the same hour. So it was the way of my grandfather to give him a message, give us a message, because my father really needed more intense, tangible thing to make him believe in it. For my grandmother, for me it was more a dream. I have really felt her for 8 days, but it was difficult really to speak. I really felt that she wanted to say something to me, but nothing could pass until I had a dream when I saw her really young, like when the same age than when she married, with a red dress, and coming to me saying, yeah, I am so sorry for not saying that I love you, for not being so more closer to you, and I will be there for you now. And it's exactly what happened. And when she comes back to see me, and when I have been really ill and bad at the hospital, she was there with me a lot. But yeah, I was not so accurate that I am now. It was like 11 years ago. So she has insisted until she has found the way of the dream for me. And my half-sister that I have died when I was like a few months after my birth. She has followed me like for 20 years, non-stop, quite non-stop. I really felt her, and because I felt so guilty to be the one that survived the car accident we all had together. Really, I was the one that had nothing, like a miracle. I felt so guilty, so I interpreted her presence like she was angry at me, or she wanted to do some harm to me. Not harm, but like, yeah, something that someone that is not happy. And it was totally false. When I did my first Ouija board with some experimented friends when I was 20, the first person to come was her, and she really fastly and brightly said, I love you, first thing. And I really felt a relief for me and for her. All was explained why she was behind me for 20 years, and she was behind my mother. My mother really did see her, can hear her, but really she didn't want to believe that it was real. And when I have shaken her and say, yeah, it's real, and you have to believe it for our sake, for my sister's sake, mine, yours, believe it. And really she has discovered at that moment that all this work which she was doing during the night, and she saw that it was dreams, to lead people, dead people, to other places where they had to go, really being the passing person for the soul of the dead. She does it consciously, and so it has like freed my sister to go to another level. It's like they have levels to go. It depends of what they have lived and what they will live after, for what they have. They are trained, and but yeah, it's like they have moments that they have to be away for living things, for experimenting, changing, maturing, going, and you feel them go higher and higher in vibrations, and they change. Sometimes they are away, and sometimes they can come back and speak to us, or help us, or just taking care of us. And but if this essential moment after death of seeing the thing that they have to say, because they won't be at peace if they doesn't have said these things, or just let go the message between the person, they cannot go after, or they have to wait for the person to die. Like my grandmother has never been able to connect more that with my grandfather. Really, it felt sometimes she wanted to scream at him and to shake him, but she wasn't able. But about it, she has let go, knowing that he will soon come with her. And so every time we have felt my grandmother really close to him, it was periods when he could have died and he doesn't have. But when he has died, really, she was there, and there were a lot of people, friends, family, that was around him, living and died people. So it was great. When in my healings and shamanic practices, I have met a lot of spirits of dead that was really glued to someone, trying to help, and being more and more and more angry and frustrated because they cannot help, they cannot speak, and they were misunderstanding by the person on which they were, by people around, like other healers that were seeing them all bad because they saw something dark and black. And for what I have experienced, when you feel like a dark spirit glued to someone, it can be painful, because the spirit is angry and frustrated because he cannot speak directly to the person. And the black is just because it hides, because when most of people think that dead people are with them, especially, for example, your father has been really hard to you, hating you, being very violent to you, and he dies, and he comes to you to say things, and you don't want to hear about him, you don't want his spirit to be there, you don't want to have any contact with him. And so, especially if people have seen him and you are even more angry at him, they hide into this blackness, like I am not there, I am waiting for my moment, but I am not there. And most of the time when you take this blackness, you only see like someone that want to help, I just want to waiting for his moment to be heard and to say what he has to say. Most of the time it's sorry, just I am sorry, I have been like crap, and now I know it and I want to help. So sometimes it can be very long, and sometimes they feel it long, the spirit, sometimes not. It's really different for them, this sensation of time. But the more they are close to living beings, the more they feel time, and the more they get frustrated about it. My uncle, for example, he died like he was getting out of his bed in the night, we suppose for peeing, and before being fallen off the floor, he was dead, like the heart has stopped. But he his spirit really fast realized that he was dead, so he came to me, saying things. He came to a lot of persons. I don't know if he was heard from everyone, but he came his way and he came back sometimes. He is a lot of with me when I am painting, or when I need inspiration and I have doubts about art. Most of the time saying to me, oh, you are just crap, just bones, take confidence in you and work and always will be well. But I don't know how it is with other people, I have not felt him around a lot at the beginning, yes, but not after. And yeah, I don't know, he feels quite at peace, it's how I feel him, and he was always like this, detached as most as possible, like life is like this, death is like this, I will do what I have to do. So yeah, it's quite fun to see how we stay, not the same, but there are things that stay in your spirit all along. So yeah, some spirit can cling and stay with people for long times, waiting to be heard. And I think we should never tell a spirit to go away before having heard what he wanted, or she, or whatever pronouns you want to put on it. Okay, I come back on it. Really, yeah, being violent, being unpolite, being being like, yeah, go away, spirit, I don't want of you there. And it's really the best way to have problems, the best way to create problems, the best way to mess up around at some point. Most of, I would say, really all the spirits that I have met, whatever they have done before, they had good intentions at basis, and most of the time they were just frustrated and panicked because they wanted to be heard, to be seen. They can be lost. Really, they could have died with really anger and bad emotions, and they just did want something. And most of the time, it's giving a message, and once it is done, they go from themselves away. And sometimes they have lost. You just have to help them. And sometimes they don't know that they have died, when it's so sudden that you don't realize. And yeah, sometimes it's a long process, and they need to meet a living being that can have, a relation with them and make them understand that they are dead. Yeah. But yeah, I have never met really a spirit that is evolved by himself, even if this spirit has called himself a demon. Most of the time, the demons that I have met, it was interesting to say met. It's they are there for giving a lesson to someone that has never understood, listen to the gentle mode of the lesson, and so they are therefore making an event that will make this person understand more accurately that it's his or her is wrong, you know. Like when I had these really bad health problems, like stopping everything, they had to do it because I was really in the wrong path for me and I didn't want to let it go. So you can say that a demon has come and fucked up my life and my health, so I will stop messing around. Yeah, so good intentions, not so pleasing actions, I would say. But yeah, every time you just stop and speak, all comes better. Yeah, really better. So yeah, really, if you feel spirit around you that you feel not so good for you in your perception, and or you see it black, or really don't judge quickly. And most of the time really spirits cannot harm you. I have really never seen spirits being able to really move objects violently, or they cannot kill you. The only moments when it can occur things like that, from my experience, is when there are people in the room that are really huge psychic energy and really bad emotions, like huge bad emotions in them, and it resonates with the bad emotions of the spirit that is there, and then using the energy of the living being, the spirit can make occur things. It's like the two become one, and all this hatred, bad emotions can create spectacular bad things. Like the only moment I have really seen that, felt that, it was like in a whole castle, abandoned castle, really dark and bad, with bad things that have happened there, and a whole bunch of teenager really bad in their skin, drugged, really not happy people, and really it could have gone bad. I have gotten out of it the most faster as possible. And yeah, because I was really feeling bad things that could and have happened. We had delusions, things like that, really bad. It was ugly. But yeah, it was half our making, our energy that was so bad that it really fueled the problem. If there were people, normal people, happy people being there, maybe they would feel not at ease there, but really nothing would have happened. So yeah, it's my experience. So being at listening to the dead really is a gift that we can do to them and to us as much as we can, if we really want to open the doors to them, already saying, I have no any more problems with you and I want to hear what you have to say to me. There will be a mean, like a mean. There will be a way for doing it. I hope it was interesting. It was great topic for me, because working with the dead has been a huge part of my life. So have a nice day, have a nice autumn moment, and see you soon. I love you.